Good job. You're doing great.
Okay, we're live. I'm going back to Instagram. You can go live. There you are.
So that's what you see on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. So you're.
This should be over. Right? Am I live?
You're live.
Oh my goodness. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see you. We are doing something really cool today. Am I starting? Like I'm supposed to be starting?
Get going.
Oh, okay. I was like waiting for my sweet little husband to figure this out. Okay. So I'm so pumped to share with you. I have a brand new Baking Kids cookbook coming out on April 7th, and I want to send you a signed copy. Now, listen, this little guy is so special. Number one, because I made it. Number two, because it is the sequel to my very first cookbook. So we've got the sequel here to my very first cookbook is my very first baking book. I am so thrilled. A couple of rules for today. Number one, interact. I want to see your comments. I want to see your questions. I want to know all the things that you want to know about this book. And if you're watching now on Talk Shop Live, you're going to click shop. Actually, not click. Click shop. If you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, you're going to comment shop. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to hit the link in my description to get a signed copy. And then I will mail that to you guys the first week of April, which is actually so much fun. And the thing that we're going to do today is we're going to make some chocolate chip cookies. I feel like the reason and the why behind this book, number one, is I really want to preserve the recipes that we cook in my home for my children. I have a 14-year-old, I have an 8-year-old, and they love to bake. And also, I always want people to get in the kitchen. I want your children to learn how to bake, to learn how to cook at a young age, so that I'm going to show you guys the illustrations. To learn all these things at a young age so that they can carry these skills and get confident as they age. Be confident in the kitchen. You can write your very own recipes in the back. This is so cute. Just the quality of this book is so beautiful. The binding is gorgeous. And I love it when you crack a book open. Look at these illustrations. I mean, how gorgeous are those? They're so much fun. And the whole neat thing about this is going to inspire your kids. Look at this. So this is all scrambled up sausage and potato bake. Baking doesn't have to just be sugary. There can be some savory baking as well. So I have an entire section about savory baking, which is so cool. But let's get into it and make these chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are a mainstay. If you are a baker, if you are a human, you'll like a chocolate chip cookie, okay? The first thing we want to do is add lots of packed brown sugar. So I've got everything measured out here. And when you guys have questions, pop them right in the chat. I want to hear the questions. My husband's going to be our sweet little moderator. Got 1 cup of butter. I'm going to get that guy in here. Right inside. And I like the butter soft. And I talk in the book about a melty butter. So it's not soft, it's not quite melted, and it's a little bit more than room temperature. I love that for cookies. We're also going to do some white sugar. A little bit of white sugar. And you know what the white sugar does? It actually really helps the cookies to spread out and get that crispiness on the outside. Oh yeah, put that up so people can see. Perfect. And then we're going to do a little bit of vanilla. And I always add my salt to the wet ingredients. Isn't that kind of fun? So we're going to go in here with a little bit of salt and the vanilla. Go ahead and put our vanilla in. This is perfect. And then we're going to cream this little guy. Here we go. Can you just kind of see the mixer coming on in? Are there any questions yet? Because I can't see.
There are a few questions.
Yeah, go ahead and ask it. Tell me the questions. Mike, just jump on in. Oh, I see lots. I'm so excited. Tell me the name.
Aubrey would like to know, why did you feel it was important to write a baking book specifically for kids?
This is such a great question. I feel like it was really important, Aubrey, for me to write a baking book just for kids, because there's so much there's so many books out there geared for adults, and I wanted this to feel not intimidating. And I have a really wonderful selling baking book called Butter, Flour, Sugar, Joy, and it's baking for people that aren't bakers. Like, I'm not traditionally a baker, so I want recipes that, number one, always work. I want to show people my tips and tricks because I didn't go to culinary school. And so the thing that's so cool about that is I love to test a recipe. I love to test the limits, and I love to test the rules. And so just because something's been a rule for a long time and taught everywhere doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be Bible forever. So I want to make sure that I am testing recipes, pushing boundaries in baking, and making things easy and simple for children. And that's where this whole book comes from. I want your kids to learn these skills so that they can have this confidence, and they can bless people with baking. Like, I think that it's such a blessing. So great question. Next one. Shoot for it, Mike.
Kate would like to know if there's any vegan recipes.
You know what's great about my recipes? I hope you guys can hear me over the din of the mixer. There's no vegan specific recipes, but I am a whole foods baker and cook. So when I am writing a recipe, it's very important to me that it's minimal ingredients, and you can swap butter for vegan butter. You can swap the eggs for an egg substitute with the flaxseed. I know that there are so many different wonderful things for people that are vegan right now. And so as long as you know your swaps, you're going to be able to swap out one-to-one, no problem. You might get a little bit of a different result using all the plant-based swaps. It might not look the same, but you are going to be 100% used to that using your own swaps as a vegan. Go for it.
Diana would like to know what was the most fun recipe to develop.
Oh my gosh, you know what the most fun, I'm gonna go broad here and say, instead of the most fun recipe to develop, I'm gonna go with the sections of the book. I love a play on words. So the cookie section is called One Smart Cookie. And what's the name of this gal? Diana?
Yep.
Okay, so Diana, One Smart Cookie, I love it. Scones, biscuits, and silly bakes. We've got sleepy, easy brioche muffins, which is an overnight cinnamon roll. A savory little treat, a piece of cake or two, which is so cute. Let's talk about brownies and bars. So I think that naming the sections and then naming the actual bakes after it. One Smart Cookie, this is so cute. We've got kitchen sink pretzel and M&M cookies, funny snickerdoodles, Granny's old-fashioned oatmeal. There's just so much in here that's so much fun. The best ever baked potato. I'm teaching your kids how to make a great baked potato too. Remember, it's just not about only sugar. So now we're going to add, so go hit me with another question. I'm going to add the eggs.
All right. Alex and Bobby both asked, were there any recipes that you had to leave on the cutting room floor?
You know what? There is never a time that a recipe I write doesn't end up in a book. And so now this is lucky number 14. I feel so blessed to be writing books, making a living out of it, writing amazing books for people and kids. And I just think it's so exciting. So if one recipe doesn't end up in this book, it's going to end up in another book. So no, there's nothing on the cutting room floor for this guy. Let's go ahead and add the little eggs, cream these guys together. Keep going with the questions. I love it.
Scott S. said he ordered your book last week after seeing you on Next Level Chef.
Next Level Chef, you guys.
Dev
Yes.
and Bonnie Lake, excited to find out you're local.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Scott. That's so wonderful. I am on Next Level Chef right now, which has been such a blast. I'm having such a good time. I made it on Team Naisha, #1 draft pick. That felt incredible. And then to have this book coming out at the same time that I'm on the show is just such a blessing. It's so fun. So thank you for your support. I love it. And if you guys want to order your book too, just like Scott, if you're watching here on Talk Shop Live, click shop, and I'm going to mail you an autographed copy. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, you are going to comment shop. Just comment it, and I'm going to send you the link to purchase. And then YouTube, link in description. Let's get back to these gorgeous cookies. So hit me with another question.
Kelly asked, are there any recipes that were challenging to simplify for young bakers?
Do you know what I think is wonderful? I'm such a simple baker in the first place. You're not going to find hundreds and hundreds of ingredients, but I don't dumb down anything that I do. I write the verbiage in this book is so fun. Like, you'll see, ¡1, ask your helper to turn on the oven to 350. Ask your grown-up to get you that big mixing bowl and stand mixer. Once you find out they can help you get set up. What? Okay, ask your grown-up if you will be using a big mixing bowl or hand mixing or a stand mixer. Once you find out, you can get the grown-up to help get you set up. So I literally make sure the kids are asking questions. They are getting someone to help them. And, this book is geared towards kids that are as young as 4 years old, as young as 3 years old. And it goes up to 12 years old, which is wonderful because your 12-year-old's basically an adult, which is kind of fun. And they can read between the lines and they don't have to, ask your grown up. My son is 14 and he'll just be like, hey, I'm turning the oven on. And I love that. Keep asking questions. I love it.
Kelly asked if there are any recipes that were challenging to simplify for young bakers.
Yeah, we just answered that. Yeah, we just did that one.
Got it. Sorry. Joan E asked, what's the one technique you think every new baker should master first?
The one technique I think a new baker should master first is measuring. Now, this might sound like a funny one, but I love a measuring cup. And when I was first learning to write books, I wanted to be a master at just dumping and stirring. I wanted just to be able to eyeball it like my mom did, like my great grandmother did. I wanted to be able to look in the bowl and just dump it in and know it. Well, now I'm almost 44 years old. There are some recipes like banana bread, chocolate chip cookies. I can eyeball it. It's going to be perfect every time. But don't skip the step of learning and getting comfortable with your measuring cups, scooping from the bag, leveling it off. I feel like using your measuring spoons and using your measuring cups is going to be so wonderful for you. Keep on going, Mike.
Kelly asked, what's different about writing a cookbook for children compared to adults?
You know what's fun about writing a cookbook for children? The silly titles. But other than that, I write my books to be useful for your whole family. I don't want it to be dumbed down so much that just like chicken fingers and fries. When I write a children's book, especially this little guy that has just turned out to be such a bestseller, these are recipes your entire family can enjoy. It's not just, like I said, chicken fingers and French fries. I don't dumb flavors down for kids. I really want them tasting food, being excited, getting experimental in the kitchen. And I also want to add swaps. If you don't have something, it doesn't mean you're counted out for the recipe. I want them to critically think, what do I have? How can I make this my own? One of the really cool parts about this book is I offer those little swaps. I offer the fun stuff. So even in this chocolate chip cookie recipe, it's like, hey, get creative, add dried fruit, add dried nuts. You can add fresh blueberries. So fun. So we're going to go ahead and add our flour in, and I'm going to move this over so my Instagram people can see that a little bit better. We've got our flour, a little bit of baking soda right here. And we're going to gently mix this guy together. Lock that guy in the back. Keep asking questions, honey. I think I see stacking up.
I'm just letting you get through that.
We're
Hazel M asked, what do you think is the biggest myth people believe about baking that holds them back?
I think the biggest myth about baking is people say it's too hard. I'm not a baker. I'm not technical. You don't have to be. If you get comfy with a measuring cup and you've got a great recipe, you can do this. Keep going.
All right.
Chocolate chips, the piece de resistance. One thing I like to do is while the mixer is just sort of like halfway mixing the flour, you never want to overmix. This is when I dump in my chocolate chips. And I don't hand stir them because I do like the chocolate to get a little pulverized in the batter. So you've got big bits, tiny bits. It's perfect. But here goes a whole bag of chocolate chips in here. Worth its weight in gold. Keep going.
All right. Gina asked, what was the hardest thing for you to learn how to bake?
Oh my gosh. The hardest thing for me to learn how to bake was a white cake. I'm sorry. I grew up on a box mix. And so I say this too in my little cooking show on YouTube. I've been chasing the high of a boxed mix cake forever and trying to write it on my own. And I'm telling you, I chased that recipe for 2 full years because I'm a firm believer in coming up with something on my own. I can use an ancient basic recipe for things like pie crusts that have been around for 150 years. But you'll never catch me just going to a site and trying to figure it out from someone else's work. I want to put the work in. So that white cake, I earned it. Okay? We earned it.
Summer K asked, what's the best thing a parent or caregiver can do to support a young baker in the kitchen?
Let them fail. Summer K, listen, the best thing that you can do for your kids is let them fail. Let them figure it out. Be there to guide them. I mean, I know ingredients are expensive, so I'm not talking about like making experimental potions and putting dish soap and things, but let them get in there. Don't worry about the mess. I mean, everything can be cleaned. I think that that's the neatest part too. Like sometimes life is so fast and we work so hard and we just want to do it. Like, oh, give me that. I'll just take care of it. But the the beauty in letting your child do it is they're building these skills that they'll have for the rest of their lives. I think that that's really important. Just let them do it. Keep going.
Delaney asked, beyond baking, what life lessons can kids gain from being in the kitchen?
Oh my gosh, Delaney, this is such a good question. Life lessons that people can gain from being in the kitchen. Confidence. You can feed yourself. You can feed yourself whole and nourishing food. I feel like we're in this food renaissance right now where people are learning about their bodies more. They're learning about what ingredients that their bodies can accept, what things they don't like. I absolutely love that. You guys, this is so special. There's literally hundreds of questions. Keep going. Show me.
Let's see. Bridget asked, what's one mistake kids shouldn't be afraid to make in the kitchen?
You know what? Don't be afraid. Bridget, this is a great question, especially for kids. Like if you've got some children that are a little bit perfectionists, because I know I do, where sometimes they get so frustrated because it didn't turn out perfectly. Oh, I don't want to keep that out of the frames. I think it's really important to tell them that if it fails, it's okay. If your stuff doesn't work out, it's absolutely okay. Did I answer that question right? What was her question? I feel like I'm.
What's one mistake kids shouldn't be afraid to make?
Oh, just if it doesn't work. Don't be afraid if your cake comes out flat. It's okay. Okay, keep going.
Let's see. How many recipes are there in the book?
Ooh, you know what? I feel like there's 60 in this little guy. Is there 60?
It's 40.
48? Oh, 48 recipes. 48 recipes. And if you want a signed copy and you're watching through Talk Shop Live, go ahead and click shop. If you're watching through Facebook and Instagram, comment shop. And then if you're watching on YouTube, the link is going to be in the description. I get my little cookie scoop out here. I love this, you guys. I love a scoop for cookies. They don't have to be perfect. And it's really, I mean, if you think about it, that's a pretty moundy scoop. I'm definitely not leveling this guy off. And then I just pop him down here.
Jazz K asked if there are any recipes for cupcakes in the book.
Yes, there are recipes for cupcakes. There is specifically a peanut butter and jelly cupcake that is so dreamy. There's also the little emoji cupcake, which is like a white cake with like a little poop swirl, which is so cute. If you have boys, I mean, if you have girls, you're probably really turned off. But if you have boys, you know that everything is about poop and toots. So there's such wonderful cupcake recipes in here. And they're all very rustic and cute. And I want to just show you guys. Look at how cute some of the illustrations are. Just easy to read. I hope everybody can kind of see that.
The pages are kind of, you can get
the pages are thick and glossy too. So if you spill a little bit on it, you can wipe that quickly. There's also a vanilla sprinkle mug cake. Just because you're little doesn't mean that you can't do something in the microwave, which is actually so cute. I love a little mug cake.
And then Riley asked if there are cake or pie recipes in the book.
There are both. You know what? There is no pie, I believe, in this book, but there are absolutely cake recipes, dreamy little cake recipes, which I love. So there's an entire section on cakes. There's also a bars section, which is so cute because, I mean, I love a lemon bar. The lemon bars in this book are worth purchasing the book in and of itself. The lemon bars are perfection. And the cool thing is these recipes, they translate to everybody. You don't have to have kids or grandkids. These are just good recipes. You know, I work on television, and one of my producers in Los Angeles at a show I was working on said, guess what? I have all of your children's books because they're super easy for me to follow. I'm not the greatest cook or baker. And so the kids' books actually really speak to me as a beginner. And I have told people that for years, like my kids' books are an amazing place to start learning how to bake and cook. Perfect. So here we go. We've got all of these. I just did 9 of them.
Mr. Cookies on the Beach on Instagram said, I'm late. What kind of cookies are these?
Oh my gosh, we're making a classic brown sugar chocolate chip cookie. I feel like we needed a little chocolate chip. It's February in Washington. We need a classic, wonderful chocolate chip cookie recipe. And the thing that's so nice about this book, I love this question, Paul. I know Paul. He's my friend. He's my little friend on Instagram. We've never met yet, but as soon as I get to Arizona, you better believe we are going out for some sort of fun, delicious food. So this is really cool. Ask me his question one more time. I keep getting like,
oh, what kind of cookies were these?
Oh, these are chocolate chip cookies. And then what was the next question?
That was it for that one. But I did. Someone else said, Somebody asked if these were your favorite. What was your favorite recipe in the book? But I
Yeah.
feel like the lemon bars. The
lemon bars is
favorite.
absolutely my favorite recipe in the book. You guys, they're the lemon butter bars, and I'm telling you, you will never have a lemon bar that is as good as the recipe in this book. I am not joking. It is incredible. And then there's also just, I loved how somebody asked earlier about the titles of the recipes. Here's one too: Reporting for Duty Blondies. Did you guys ever watch Beverly Hills Troop when you were a kid? It's so
True
funny.
Beverly Hills.
Troop Beverly Hills Troop. When I was writing this book, my editor was like, is anybody going to get that reference? And I'm like, you know what? Even if they don't, it's just for us. So I'm letting you in on that special little secret. I loved that movie when I was a kid. It was so good. Keep on going. Let's ask me some more questions. And our cookies are baking. I put my little timer on for 9 minutes, and we're going to check those little guys out.
Gabby asked, who did the cover illustration and the book illustration?
Ooh, such a great question. So Annie Wilkeson is so talented. She's so gifted. She actually did the cover for my first kids cookbook as well. So we had to have her back on the sequel. You know it. She's so wonderful. So Annie Wilkeson, you can find her on Instagram and all kinds of fun socials.
Jenny, your sister, said
Yes.
they're beyond.
Oh my gosh, they are. They're so good. Hello, Jenny. Nice to see. I like that Mike called you out as my sister. This is wonderful.
Emily said she loves your apron.
Oh, Emily, thank you so much. It's the Dahlia one from Headley and Bennett. I got this as a Christmas present like 5 years ago, and I love it.
Wendy asked, are some or all of the recipes family recipes?
You know what? Every single recipe that I write, Wendy, this is such a great question, is going to be a riff off of a family recipe. Because even if I didn't learn it as a kid, I absolutely made it with my own children. And so these recipes are absolutely legacy recipes, which I love. Great question. Keep on going. Oh, I'm trying to get through everybody's questions. I can just see them stacking up. You guys are so sweet.
Cindy Lou said, ordered this one to go along with my others. No grandkids yet, but someday.
I love it. You know what, Cindy Lou, you're going to love this because you don't have to have grandkids to really enjoy these books. Like I said, with one of my producers in Los Angeles, she's like, I just get your kids' books because they're super easy to follow along. So one day you will have grandkids. And if you have children of your own, even if they're grown, you can absolutely make something for them and still drop it off. Because listen, when my mom still brings me food, I am in love with it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to move all these little guys over to my sink. And we told our kids, it's funny, I have an 8-year-old. He's so funny. He was like, I want to be on the live. I said, then you have to go put a shirt on. And he never came back downstairs, which is so cute. I'm going to check on our cookies.
Rebecca asked, what's next for you? And will you continue creating content for younger audiences?
Yes, you know what? As long as I have children and grandchildren, and as long as you guys are loving my kids' books, I will continue creating content for younger audiences. And you know what? I am always prayerfully considering what's next for us. Right now we're in the process of opening a new sort of corner store grocery store situation here in our town, which is so cool, called the Alderton General Store.
Update on the building.
Oh yeah, someone asked for an update on the building. You guys are so cute. So we are in the process right now. We have hired some architects and we're going through the plans portion of it. So that's really going to be something wonderful we're stepping into. You get to see my journey on the Next Level Chef show. We're always creating fun, beautiful shows, Rustic Joyful Food on YouTube. We have a beautiful wine line, French for Water. So there's all kinds of fun stuff that we're doing. And if you guys want to get a signed copy and you're watching through Talk Shop Live, you're going to click shop. I'm going to send you a signed copy when this little guy is out in April. And if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, you're going to comment shop. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link is going to be in the description. So keep going with those questions. I love this.
Okay. Vanjie asked, how did you first fall in love with baking and who taught you?
Who asked that?
Vanjie.
Okay, such a wonderful question. You know what's so funny? Just going back to that earlier question, I wanted so badly to be this just badass baker that could just dump everything in and make it all work out. And the funny part about that is you need experience. I wanted to be a baker so badly, and everything I made, because I wasn't going through the necessary steps, didn't work. And I feel like this really, it's part of my life too, where you just learn and it's my trial and error. And once I finally surrendered to the process, using a measuring cup, actually learning why things work, then my baking started to work out. And so I feel like that's a great life lesson too. Like sometimes you just have to go through the steps. You want so badly to just jump to the end. And that's not what God wants for us. God wants us to have this beautiful journey, and it's about the journey. It's about learning and taking these things that we learn to make it beautiful. So that was really a roundabout way to answer your question. But yeah, I love the journey and the process, and learning to become a baker was hard one for me because I had to go through the steps and I didn't want to at first.
Yeah, and then several people have asked, are there any recipes that are inspired by your childhood or your kids' childhood baking days?
Absolutely. My kids love to bake, and I love my little guy. I mean, I call him my little guy, but he's, 6 feet tall and towers over me now. He loves to bake. He'll get in the kitchen and be like, hey, Mom, what are the ingredients for this? And he loves to like write his little stuff down, and he has quite a little sweet tooth, but Noah makes the best lemon bars. He makes the best chocolate chip cookies. He makes incredible cinnamon rolls. He loves to bake bread. I love that kind of stuff. So I think it's so special as a mom, just watching your kids grow and then seeing that independence when they can come into the kitchen and make dinner. Noah loves to make noodles, which I think is so much fun. And that's just because he's seen us grow and make these recipes. And I know that he's going to cook for his wife one day. He's going to be fine when he moves out. He's going to always know that he can cook and bake and do all these fun things. And I think it's such a blessing.
Bridget asked, what ingredient do you always have to have in your kitchen?
What ingredient do I always have to have in my kitchen? Baking wise, every single time I'm going to the grocery store, I'm picking up chocolate chips, flour, butter, sugar, doy. And listen, if you're in a bad mood, there's nothing like therapy baking. If you have had a really hard day and you don't have to film it or show it to anybody, there's nothing like making a batch of cookies and then just like having them around. You don't even have to eat them. It's just the, cathartic to make the stuff. And then cooking wise, I always have to have great protein, some good seasonal vegetables, and olive oil.
She's in the garden 7 said, what are you cooking for dinner?
Oh my gosh, you know what's so funny? You know what I'm cooking for dinner? Hamburger, mac and cheese, and peas for my kids. And they're like literally they're watching the time like as soon as I'm done. So I have some hamburger defrosting. I'm gonna mix that into a couple boxes of mac and cheese for them tonight, because it's just been a long, busy day. And then we love frozen peas. So that's not a glamorous dinner, but it's absolutely dinner.
Are there any ingredients you swear by that might surprise people?
Oh my gosh, Madison, that's such a good question. Or any ingredients that I swear by that would surprise people? I love basic. I love seasonal. I love, things that you can grow. I think that there isn't anything I think that's probably shocking. I probably olive oil, but I don't think there's anything that I swear by that would be shocking to people. No.
And then also, she had a follow-up question. How do you feel about substitutions, and do you encourage experimenting?
I encourage experimenting for everything. I can't guarantee that the recipe will come out how it was tested, but that doesn't mean anything. I think that recipes should be guidelines. And when you experiment a little bit with the recipe, that's how you come up with your own. That's how you come up with something that works every single time, that fits your family's budget, fits your taste buds. I mean, if I wrote in here that you had to have the best of everything and hand milled flour and Valrhona chocolate, you probably wouldn't like to bake out of it. I want you to use what you have available to you and let your taste buds do the driving. I think that so often sometimes people confuse a recipe for like, it has to be this way. And it's just a guideline. And then I just keep wanting to tell you guys, if you want to order this little guy, if you want my signature in it, you're going to click Talk Shop. If you're watching on Talk Shop Live, you're going to comment shop on Facebook and Instagram. And you're going to, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you're going to go to the link in the description. Let's check our cookies. It's been about 8 minutes. Oh, yes. Here we go. I'm getting them out. Ask me a question, babe.
Dakota asked, if you could only eat one baked good for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, it would be a chocolate chip cookie or a lemon bar. I know we really talked about those guys a lot. Look at this. Okay, and this is kind of fun. So here's our cute little cookies. Gorgeous, so caramely and very hot. And I love, if you do this and you bang your cookies on the counter, what that does is it deflates them. And when they deflate, you get these beautiful ripples all around the cookie. So that's like there was this famous cookie recipe that went out around the internet called a pan banging chocolate chip cookie. I didn't write it, but I did love that method because when we were kids, I always remember like taking the cookies out and then you kind of just set them on the counter and you kind of do it rough and then they deflate and it's actually creates these beautiful little ripples. I love it. Okay, keep going.
Lucy asked, do you have a message for someone who has always wanted to bake but never felt confident enough to start?
Oh my gosh, Lucy, that's such a good question because that was me. 100%. You get a couple good recipes. Don't do anything too technical. Start with a banana bread. Start with a chocolate chip cookie. Master that recipe, and that builds your confidence. When you have things coming out of the kitchen that feel good and taste good, you're like, oh my gosh, I did that. Then your family starts to request it. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be I don't know, just wild and exotic. Like chocolate chip cookies are, I feel like, the greatest place to learn how to bake on a chocolate chip cookie. That's why I chose this today, because people love chocolate chip cookies. They represent family, they're homey, they're wonderful. There's never been a chocolate chip cookie I met that I didn't like. So I think that you should start out with this little recipe for the chocolate chip cookies and go for it. You guys, there's so many questions. I feel like we're not going to get to everything by the time this little show is over. Who's that? Georgie? Georgia?
Carrie asked, is there a recipe that was surprisingly difficult to simplify for beginners?
We already asked that one.
Okay.
And yep. And I'm going to say no, because I talk to kids the same way that I talk to adults, which is probably wonderful and horrible at the same time.
Laura said, okay, sweet or savory, where does your heart truly lie?
Well, you know what? My heart truly lies in the savory. I am a savory girl through and through, but that doesn't mean that I don't love a rustic grandma style bake. And listen, I feel like that is what this baking book delivers. You're going to get a win with every single one of these recipes. They are tested, tried, and true. They're so cute. You can write your own memories together in the back of this little guy. I love this book. There's also jokes. Look at the back pages. So here are some ways that you can celebrate with your family, with all kinds of fun ways to do that. And then the joke section is so cute. I read them with my 8-year-old. He actually helped me come up with some of these guys. So look at this. Why did the apple stop in the middle of the road? Because it ran out of juice. Look at that. So cute. Cute little apple out of juice. But the jokes are so cute. You guys, if you would love your own copy of this book, by myself, Danielle Kartes, with Rustic Joyful Food, joyful recipes that you can make with your family together. Illustrations by Annie Wilkeson. Go ahead and if you're watching through Talk Shop Live, you're going to click shop. If you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, you're going to comment shop. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's the link in the description. Now let's go ahead and look at these cute little cookies. I want to show you guys.
Kristen F. said she bought 2 of these, going to make them into cute Easter gifts for her grandkids.
You guys, Easter is coming. Easter is coming. This is perfect for Easter baskets. Thank you, Kristen. That is such a wonderful idea. I would love for you guys to get them. I'm trying to pull up a cookie while it's nice and hot. I love to let these guys hang out. Oh, they're so hot.
Lena said so hot on Instagram.
Lena, hello. I love it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to break open this hot cookie for you so you can just see. They're so gooey, so beautiful. I mean, come on. I'm having a little bite. The extra brown sugar in this recipe is top notch. It's so good. And I like a cookie a little bit more on the doughy side. So these ones are perfect. Let's finish out with one last question. I didn't get to everybody.
I think we did.
But I love you guys so much. Oh, wait, I guess we did. Way to call me out, Mike.
Jennifer ordered a book.
Ooh, thank you, Jennifer, for ordering. I love it. Okay. Final call. The cookies are delicious. You have to make them. If you're watching for one final time on Talk Shop Live, you're going to click shop for a signed copy. I'm going to mail it to you first week of April. Perfect for Easter baskets. And then on Facebook and IG, you're going to comment shop. And on YouTube, it's a link in the description. You guys, thank you so much for baking with me. It's been such a good time. Have a wonderful Tuesday evening. And remember that life is a blessing. It doesn't have to be perfect. And always put something in the oven. Love you guys. Mwah.